Hola amigos de CineNT.com, estamos con el maestro Peter Greenaway. Lo vamos a hacer unas breves preguntas. Thank you, Mr. Greenaway. In the masterclass, you say that people is able to be visual trained. Who was your guide in your visual training apprentissage?
Well, from a very early age, I wanted to be a painter. I come from a background of people who are very much interested in nature, the natural world. My father was an ornithologist. My grandfather was a man who used to look after a forest. And my great-grandfather was a woodcutter. So all these people are related very much to the natural environment. And I was always very much aware, as I suspect we all are, that the natural environment is very ephemeral. It disappears. You can't hold it. Just think, a butterfly only lasts for maybe a couple of days. A mayfly lasts simply for an afternoon. The seasons keep changing. Well, they do in Europe, maybe perhaps not such a big change here. I think mainly because, we live obviously much closer to the Arctic Pole. And I think it was that wish to fix things, to hold things down, that I wanted to record them, but to record them as a painter and a draftsman. I had no idea at that particular time that I ever wanted to be a filmmaker. So in terms of examples, it would just have to be hundreds and hundreds of European painters.
You say many times that movies are dead, but every time you say that, you make a movie.
I know, because I'm very, very stupid.
No, I think you're great. I think you're a master, and makes you say, oh man, this movie can be a guide to the new filmmakers.
Well, I hope so. Because I don't go to the cinema very often because I find cinema so boring. The films are so boring. But I do enjoy making them. I like composing the pictures and fitting the soundtrack and considering the music and all those sorts of problems. I find that very, very engaging. But to be honest, I never look at my films after probably about 10 weeks after they've made. So, I've made nearly 80 films, but I never look at them.
In Ancestry in Guanajuato, you don't use only a montage like the past, like the Sergei Eisenstein, but also use the digital technology. How do you work with this together?
Well, I would really be a postmodernist and not a modernist. A modernist says you cut off the past. The past is irrelevant, cut it. I don't think we can behave like that. Everything new is based upon everything that's old. Mm-hmm. So there are elements and vocabulary of celluloid cinema, but it's very important now that we should use all the new languages, which are so extraordinary. We can all become Picasso now.
Yeah, I remember years ago, The Baby of Macon, a movie that changed the way that many people, including myself, look at the movies.
Yeah.
Do you remember, how do you think in the time you make that movie, especially the visual elements like the door, the people seeing the representation and seeing again? Do you remember, how do you feel, and how do you feel now about that?
Well, I think there are lots of things that didn't work very well, and if I was given the chance to make it again, I would improve on it. What I do remember about that film is incredible color. It was all about gold and red, red and gold all the time. So, I've almost forgotten what the story was about, but I do remember, for example, the color coding. I wouldn't have thought that then when we made it, and I can only think that retrospectively.
So thank you, Mr. Greenaway. A pleasure to talk to you.
Many thanks. Thank you.